and this video is specially made for Catherine. Thank you, Catherine, for your donation. You can too get your own video produced with as little as $11.11. It's very cheap, very nominal. It's just a push for me to get 1.6K videos out. So your placements are very interesting. It is Cancer rising and Capricorn moon and Scorpio sun. So let us understand the ascendant first, which is Cancer ascendant. And the degree which it falls on, of course, is the degree of your ascendant. So the rising sign is the sign that rises on the eastern side of the horizon at the moment of your birth. Okay. And this particular sign, Cancer, becomes your first house. Okay. And the first house is called the helm of the natal chart. Okay. It's from where you pivot your whole life. This is a place where Mercury has planetary joy. So you understand it's all about ideas and expression. Okay, the first house. It is essentially how you are plugged into the matrix. It's how you look, how you behave, your psychology, your health also to a certain degree, although the sixth house is the house of health. But the ascendant is also very much a signifier of health. The ascendant is an angular house. The first house is an angular house. So planets, if you have any planets there, they will react with your Cancer ascendant and they will influence the Cancer ascendant. The ruler of Cancer is the moon, and your moon is in your seventh house, which is Capricorn. So you have an opposition between your ascendant and your moon, okay? Even if they are not exact in degree, they are in opposition by sign. So I'll get to the moon sign later. This basically signifies that there's always going to be sort of conflicting thoughts about the way you present yourself, about the way you're perceived. So the ascendant is how people perceive us. The sun sign is how we want to be perceived. And the moon sign is our emotions. So when I said that this is how you're plugged into the matrix, and this being the helm of the natal chart, this is possibly the reason why you have incarnated. Cancer is the domicile of the moon. It's the exaltation of Jupiter. And Cancer is the archetype of the mother and child. So there's always nourishment, nurturing, emotions. Is the first water sign. It's cardinal water. Okay, so it's water that wants to start new emotional experiences. We know that Cancer is extremely emotional, right? With Aries, we come into incarnation and we go into a new directionality. With Taurus, we experience the physical body and food. With Gemini, we learn to communicate. But with Cancer, we learn emotions, right? We learn to connect with people. We learn to love people and relate to them. Cancer can be quite a smothering energy if the mothering is taken to extreme heights. This is also the place where Mars is in fall, because Mars is exalted at 28 degrees of Capricorn. So if you happen to have your ascendant degree exactly at 28 degrees of Cancer, it's the exact fall position of Mars. So how you will take action in the world can always be conflicted. Okay. Also, the thing with Cancer risings is they are very emotional, very sensitive, but very moody. Imagine the moon. Moon travels around the whole zodiacal wheel so quickly, completes one cycle every 29 days. So you immediately understand that as a Cancer rising person, your emotions fluctuate. Cancer rules the breast and the stomach. You could be prone to excessive overeating, especially if it's say a profected year of Cancer, your first house. You will see that you will completely reinvent yourself during that time. Okay, the first house is about all about you, it's the most you part of the natal chart, right? So decisiveness may not be something that you are, you find quite challenging actually, because it's that fourth Mars. But you're extremely expanding, probably very caring, with a vision with a vision of love, because it's got that Jupiterian humanitarianism. Okay, Cancer. It's the exaltation of Jupiter. Always remember that. Especially if you have a Cancer rising and you have Jupiter on the first house. Wow. You're like a guru of sorts. Okay, a teacher. Cancer rising people can be very good teachers, very good health providers, social workers, rescue people. Because, being the mother archetype, there's always this need to rescue people. Sometimes that can become a, toxic habit. But there's always the propensity to nurture, to cherish. Passive aggressiveness could be there. Now we get to the moon, and the moon for you is so important because it is the ruler of your ascendant, right? Now the moon is in the seventh house. This means that you see yourself, your own identity through other people. Possibly you will have an early marriage. Possibly you're very romantic, okay? Because your seventh house moon, I have a seventh house moon. So I know how this energy works. Okay, also possibly you've had an early marriage and there could be some problems with that early marriage. It could also, especially if Saturn is a malefic for you, operational malefic. Now, the thing with your moon is your moon will always be influenced by Saturn. So, to truly understand the energies of your ascendant, you have to dig deep into realizing where Saturn lies in your natal chart. For Saturn will tell you how your moon is operating. And how your moon operates, you will feel that on your physical. Now, Saturn ruled moons. Now, let's understand the moon sign. The moon is, your emotions, your emotional fluidity, your emotional interface, your mother, embodiment of your, personal mysteries, mysterious side of you, the yin side of you, like the sun is the yang side of you, the ascendant is the Jungian person. The moon is also how you will be as a mother. The moon is how you will be as a wife. Now, Capricorn. Capricorn is again another cardinal sign. Cancer is also another cardinal sign. And this is the opposite of your ascendant, okay? So here, this is a cardinal sign. It's Earth, okay? It's an Earth sign. And the temperament of Earth people are basically melancholic. Okay, temperament of water people are phlegmatic. Cancer rising, there could be phlegm issues. Also eating disorders, like I said. And that moon, moon is, as I said, our emotion, our everyday habit pattern. When the moon is in a Saturn ruled sign, there could be literally drying up of emotions, extremely conflicted about emotions, because Saturn is extremely cold, extremely dry. Moon is cold and moist. Moon also has warmth, because the moon takes warmth from the sun. However, with the moon in Capricorn, you love structure. You possibly have solid boundaries around who you let in your emotional life, in your emotional space. You don't trust easily. Okay, it also could be that you're attracted to older people. Moon and Capricorn could mean you're attracted to men who are older than you. And you do tend to want someone who has financial safety and financial security. Capricorn is ultimately about mastery, for that is what Saturn teaches us. Okay, so your moon, in a sense, is learning mastery of emotions, mastery on how to relate with people. And this can appear very conflicting because moon in Capricorn is not a, traditionally a good place for the moon. Okay, Anyway, any sign that is ruled by a particular planet, in the opposite sign, that planet goes into detriment. So your moon is in detriment, right? And depending upon Saturn's placement in your chart, you will be able to better ascertain the functionality of your moon and better posit meaning, right? However, it is very important for a Capricorn moon to have, as I said, a regularity, a regime, because Saturn rules time, so timekeeping, and you could be emotionally attached to a job to such a degree that you spend yourself completely. Oftentimes, Cancer rising people are homemakers. But there's something about that Capricorn moon that gives one ambition, especially if that Saturn is well placed in a day chart. Gives you that, ambition to do something, even if it's for your community and your local circle. You want to help, you want to do something. Yet there could be problems with your mother in your childhood because, like I said, moon is also signifier of your mother. Mother may have extremely, harsh when it came to discipline, may even not have shown you a lot of emotions. And as a Cancer rising, you want emotions, right? Now, however, like I said, early marriages will only last if Saturn is well placed. However, Moon in the seventh, always early marriage, early relationships, always, having a relationship, never being able to be single. It's not your fault, it's just how you see yourself through the eyes of the other. The seventh house is the other. Seventh house is also open enemies. Remember that. So, you could, and how strange it is to have, the house of spouse and the house of open enemies as your seventh house, right? So, you could literally have enemies that are women, or mother figures that later on started to badmouth you, and moon is also sister, by the way. Could have a difficult relationship with your sister, or enemies that are women who are your friends, but they pretend to be your friends but they are not really your friends. That type of a thing could be there. However, traditionally, seventh house people with the moon have very pleasant dispositions, very well spoken, admired, also good looking spouse. Saturn ruled. So, your spouse could have problems with the hair, otherwise thinnish, and even with the Cancer rising, you're very beautiful. Oval face, beautiful eyes, silvery hue of the complexion, you know. However, Saturn, also rules the skin. So you could have skin problems with the moon being in Capricorn, especially, earlier on in your life. Also, Cancer is the stomach. Incorrect diet could give you, tons of other issues, including very bad skin. Very good status generally. Another thing with moon in the seventh, it gives slender waist. Also, Saturn typically is thinnish and slender, okay, is not prone to corpulence. Now you have a fifth house sun. It's quite precious, fifth house sun, because you're adventurous, you're childlike, full of wonder, full of awe, full of, wanting to experience the natural place of Leo, right? You have the sun. So that does make the sun strong in a way. Also remember that fifth house is where Venus takes planetary joy. So, and also the other thing is first and seventh house are angular houses. So they're always going to be like really powerful, the planets in the angular houses, 1, 4, 7, 10, right? And then you got the cadent houses, right? And you have cadent house, fifth house of children, house of creativity. So sun is how also how you shine in the world, your leadership skills, why you've incarnated. Your soul's reason to incarnate is the sun, right? Your vitality, your intelligence. Scorpio. is ruled by Mars. Okay. Also Pluto, some say, modern astrologers, the higher octave of Mars. Scorpio's fixed water. The moon is in fall in Scorpio. Moon is exalted in Taurus. Immediately you understand that there is problem with emotions, Scorpio. So your father may have had problems with emotions, had a lot of secrets for sure. Scorpio is full of secrets, right? But the thing about Scorpio is it's extremely penetrative, the experience. Okay, soul deepening, penetrative experience. It is the dark night of the soul in a way. The path to discipleship begins with Scorpio. So, yeah, they could be jealous, possessive, aggressive, violent, and all of that. But essentially, they're great occultists, Sun in Scorpio. Great interest in the occult, in the esoteric, and all things hidden, right? Uh, you're concerned, about the fifth house Sun, concerned about your adults, the elders in your house, intellectual, vivacious, gregarious, tactful. Scorpio is a long game player, being a fixed sign. So whatever, and it has that strategic component of Mars. So action is extremely strategic, presuming you have a well placed Mars, of course. It's a day chart or night chart. Is Mars an operational malefic or a benefic? Which day can this falls in? Scorpio has a ton of really difficult fixed stars. There's something called Via Combusta, from 15 degrees of Libra to 15 degrees of Scorpio, the path of combustion. So if your sun happens to be via Combusta, it's literally burnt out by its own light. So it works as a sort of a double pitta. So this could give you a pitta imbalance. Okay, Cancer makes you phlegmatic, gives you kapha imbalance. Capricorn, can give you again kapha, can give you even pitta, right? Scorpio, because of that Mars and that fixed water, makes steam, a lot of movement. You want to penetrate into things. You could be an exceptionally well um, thought out strategist, researcher, uh, so many things actually with the Scorpio sun, because very good with surgical skills, Scorpio sun. It's at Mars. Mars is surgery. And you can be very good with surgery in the fifth house. You could be working with children even at the Cancer rising, like ER situations or some kind of medical situation you could be in. Very possible. Cancers love to be caregivers. Scorpios are deep, penetrating detectives, the archetype of the detective, the occultist, the awakening after the dark night of the soul. And Capricorn is about mastery. So ultimately, you are here to master the physical world as well as your emotions, remember that, and help, provide support, nurture, care. Yet you are very instinctive about people. You may be like laid astray sometimes by people when you misjudge them. But overall, you have a deep understanding of people. Cancer inherently has an understanding. It's got an ESP. Capricorn knows people, just sniffs people out. Even if you have a retrograde Saturn, say in the first house, and you're rising opposite that moon, there's still something about that uh, Capricorn moon that just knows things. Because after all, Saturn is very, very important in this little solar system, in this little game that we play. So I hope that video helped you, Catherine, and I hope it helped many other people. It helps many other people. You too can get your own sun, moon, ascendant video made by me. The very little bit of money, a nominal fee, just to give me the first the nudge to come here and make these videos. They're 1.6K videos, so it's gonna take me some time. I've completed around 400 of them, but still 1200 or 500 of them I possibly have completed. But a lot of them remain. So help me by producing these sun, moon, rising combination videos. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the donation, Catherine, and speak soon. Bye.